Yeah, okay, well, yeah. Morning, James. How are you?
How are you, Michael?
James, can you talk about how the line-out and everything around the line-out has evolved and changed or been tweaked since Paul O'Connell has become involved? Like he spoke about it yesterday, and just in terms of how you're all working together and collaborating more efficiently, for want of a better phrase.
Yeah, I think it's improved over the last this campaign really, which has been great. I wouldn't say there's been a massive change to the nuts and bolts of our line out. But I suppose I think what he's introduced is little small intricacies and just levels of detail that really make the difference at this level. Which has been great because I think the set piece is an area of our game that's been a real positive for us so far in the campaign in terms of our scrum and our line out, and we know how important that is at this level. So that's definitely one real positive we're taking. It's an area that we felt looking back at the autumn that could have been a bit stronger. So we're in a good place with that now.
And can I ask you just about Scotland and what you're expecting from them, because they tend to be at their best when they're at the top of their toes and pretty abrasive, which their pack can be.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're a very strong side who'll be very, very motivated playing in Murrayfield. I think they've shown how far they've come, even since the autumn in the campaign so far, and I think they're a very dangerous team. You look at their back three, Van der Merwe, Darcy Graham, Stuart Hogg. In terms of attacking threats, they're probably as dangerous a back three as you'll come across in the tournament. So I think our defence will be massive. Our connections on defence will be massive. Our connections on our kick chase. So very dangerous side, and that I suppose talent is matched up front as well. They're an aggressive, pretty abrasive pack, as you said. So it's a big one for us.
Thanks. Have a good week, man.
Thanks.
Hi, James. I don't think you've ever lost to Scotland. Does Ireland's good recent record against them, is it irrelevant? Does it count for anything?
Probably doesn't count for a whole lot, to be honest. Every time you play a test match, it's another opportunity. It's another game. So once the game starts, I think how you fared against them in the past probably doesn't count for a whole lot. It's a new game. I always think Scotland and Murrayfield is also is a different challenge. Obviously there'll be no fans there, but it's still it's still a different challenge than it would be if we were playing them in the Viva.
Scotland sometimes, we see it in the line-up before, they seem to have something up their sleeves. Do you almost have to fight fire with fire in that sense and have something yourselves as well?
Yeah, we're always trying to balance our game and have a bit of variety. And Scotland are no different. I think they're coached very smartly, and as you say, they've a number of trick plays in the set piece, and we just got to be awake for that really, and it's something that we'll look at.
Hi James. Paul O'Connell said yesterday that he wished he had more time with you guys. Every time he has a session with you, is it the same for you guys? Are you left wanting more?
In terms of the line out and stuff.
Yeah, just after the sessions.
I suppose it's the way the trainings work. You've got 3 or 4 blocks, and one block might be line out, another block could be scrum, and the other blocks could be team orientated. So I suppose you've got a bit to fit in there in those blocks, but I suppose that's just the way it is. There has to be a balance, but I'm enjoying all the training we're doing at the moment in terms of our set piece, and I think we're coming on in that area. Do I want more? I think we're trying to fit it in as best as possible around training, but I think it's working pretty well at the moment.
And you said before, the Italy game that you wanted players to find their voice more. Did you feel that happened in Italy?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I thought the communication was much better. And I thought our intent was much better at the back of it. I thought we'd more consistent intent and more consistent energy throughout the 80 minutes. And yeah, I thought that was on the back of really accurate comms, and I thought it was an important piece for us in our performance that day.
Thanks, James. Have a good week. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey Ian, how's it going? Or sorry, James, how's it going?
Good.
When I asked you about Ian Henderson, that's why I got confused.
No
Your second row partners, you've played a lot of games together over the course of your Ireland career. How would you describe your relationship with Ian and the combination that you've built over the time? How do you build a combination? Because it's so important in international rugby to have kind of familiar combinations.
Yeah, I have a great relationship with him. I think I'd get along with Hendy as good as anyone in here. So we're good mates, I think first and foremost. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoy playing with him. I think he's a very smart player. Definitely a very smart player. And I think he brings, real leadership as well. You can see that with, he's obviously been club captain up in Ulster. But yeah, I enjoy playing with him, and I think he's a very good line operator as well. And when he's at his best, he's such a destructive force. And you love playing with somebody like that alongside you in the second row. It's a privilege really to play with him when I get the chance.
And what about Ryan? Can you tell us maybe when you first noticed him? Like, was he in the first year when you were around sixth year, or is the gap that big? Like, Andy Skeen was saying that he had unbelievable athletic prowess in Michaels, that they knew about him very early on, that he was going to be a serious player. How have you tracked his progress coming up, and how impressed were you in his debut when he came on?
Very impressed, yeah. He fit in seamlessly and did even more. He looked so powerful whenever he carries the ball. Yeah, I suppose he moved to Michaels in third year, I think. So I think I was in sixth year when he first came to the school. So yeah, I mean, I would have seen him growing up. He would have played with my brother. They would have been on the same schools teams on the way up. Yeah, and it was always very, he was always one of those players that stood out very clearly, even from an early age. And he's continued that kind of. He's continued in that manner, and yeah, I mean, he's just unbelievably athletic, obviously, so quick and powerful and very talented. So it's brilliant to have him on board, and I think the second row is an area where there's really a lot of depth now in the team. Obviously you mentioned Hendy and Ryan, and Ty Brown can play there. Obviously, Quinn Rue, Ulton Delan, who's had a great season as well. There's a number of guys there now, which is great.
Are you?
Yeah, yeah.
James, how you doing? Jerry here. Hope you're keeping well. Could I ask, you say you get on very well with Ian. Would you say you're similar personalities, or are there much difference between the two of you? Or?
I'd say we're similar enough in some ways. I think we're both kind of quite curious about stuff, is the way I put it. So I'd say, yeah, similar enough in a lot of ways.
And you just get on well together in terms of, do you have similar interests, or you share a similar sense of humour? Or?
Yeah, I think we definitely have a similar sense of humour. And yeah, I mean, similar interests as well. We both love food. We love dogs. He likes a bit of history as well. So, yeah, we get along well.
Could I ask you one more, please, about fans? We've had about 6 months of this now. Do you feel the absence of fans dilutes home advantage, James, or is it still a big advantage playing in a stadium you're familiar with and not having to travel and so forth? How does that work, sir?
Yeah, I suppose it's not the same going to Murrayfield with 60,000 or whatever it is. But I still think it's it's different than playing them at home in the Aviva, even with no fans. So I think it just adds an extra few percent to what already is a big challenge. So yeah, we're looking forward to that. I think you've got to go on the road and in this championship and win big games, and that's what we're looking to do this week.
Cheers, James. Best of luck.
Thanks, sir.
Anything further there for James?
Yeah, actually, just one for me. How big of a miss has Caelan Doris been around the environment?
Yeah, he's been a big miss. It's been a pity that his championship was cut short. But we've been in touch with him, and he's keeping well. So very excited to welcome him back now whenever he's right.
Okay, guys, we'll leave it there.